Now, you know, the last couple of months I've been talking about sets of comics I've been trying to collect. All the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossovers, the Secret Wars 2 crossovers. And another thing I've been trying to complete are the 1986 Marvel 25th anniversary covers that came out. I'm going to show you a few things, and we got a few extras here, you know, that this set actually inspired. As I started digging through my books to see what I had uh, and bought one or two things, I started finding some other stuff. And I'm like, well, hey, that'd be cool to put in a video. Now, Marvel Comics actually started in 1961 with Fantastic Four #1. Alan Moore and his Captain Britain run in the early 80s over in England, he started doing stories that involved a multiverse of its own. You know, DC already had one and stuff, but Alan Moore actually came up with the whole idea of numbering um, multiverse in different Earths like that in Marvel Comics by the year and the date, by the date that they came out. So the proper Marvel Universe, as of last month, it died in the new Secret Wars series, is was, you know, Marvel 616, and that's because it started in June 1961. 61 is the year, 6 was the month. Okay. So 25 years later, I'm in middle school and I go into the spinner rack and I'm like blown away because there's like these covers that are really sticking out and they really look cool beside each other. You know, it doesn't take a lot to, you know, please a teenage kid and stuff, and they were kind of fun. Also, to celebrate their 25th anniversary in 1986, they came out. They started with the new universe. So it was kind of a celebration and stuff, right? So what they did with all their covers for that month, and I'm assuming it's all their covers, was they put this border around all them. Okay, now the border that you see around the portrait was drawn by John Romita Sr., and somehow they just have forgotten who actually inked it. So this was kind of cool. This is Fantastic Four, the one that started it all, number 296. And these came out probably around September. I don't know why they waited so late in the year or whatever, but they're cover dated November 296. And whenever you see that a month on a comic book like that, it's to let the retailers know to hold that, you know, put that book on the stands and take it down in November. So they, you know, they would stay up about 2 months and pile up a little bit, and that's what that means. So this was fantastic. I actually love this issue. For this anniversary issue, it is double sized. John Byrne had already left and didn't complete the run. He wanted to break Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's run on Fantastic Four, but he got offered to do Superman and went and did it for, you know, revamped Superman. And in this issue, I love this issue, man. Jim Shooter plotted it, Stan Lee scripted it, and then they have a bunch of artists that came on, like Jerry Ordway, Barry Winslow Smith, Mark Silvestre, Joe Sennett, a few other people and stuff came on here and completed the story. They ran no ads in it. So this was fantastic. Okay. So as you see, the border kept going with all the issues, and this was Marvel Age. Marvel Age was a book that kind of talked about the editorial, had Fred Hembick doing a 2-page spread in it of some funny stuff with the Marvel staff and kooky characters from the Marvel Universe, and it had a checklist of books that were coming out, and all the books in this one are listed as coming out in August. So, you know, I don't know what that is about, even though this says November. And right there on the cover, we have a Star Brand. This was also announcing the books that were coming out from Star Brand. Now, Star Brand #1 came out a month before all the other titles of the new universe did, but that's a whole other video. Now, what I like about this one is, you know, Marvel Age was a cheap, fun book. It was 50 cents by now. And all the other books were 75 cents back then. And what's cool is you had the same border, but they had some fun with it. And on the back cover, you get the backs of all the heroes that are on there. And right here where the UPC symbol would usually be, and in this one they had the New Universe advertisement of the White event hitting the Earth. When you turn it around, you come to find out that on all those comics, you have Howard the Duck trying to get in there, but no one can see him, which I thought was funny. All right. So that's a little bit of the history there and stuff of what was going on. And these are the ones I have. I still need to get a Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, which I thought I had. It could still be in the boxes. And then their Star line of comics were the licensed properties that Marvel acquired that were for kids. Okay, and I need Heathcliff and Peter Parker Spider-Ham, which was theirs, and Ewoks, Star Wars Ewoks books. And I've heard terrible things about that Ewok book from the 80s. I don't know, man. Star Wars Ewoks. But here's the Amazing Spider-Man. This was number 282. Okay. Web of Spider-Man, number 20. I don't know if I'm going to tell all the issue numbers. Avengers West Coast. Whoops. Avengers West Coast, right there with Hawkeye. I'm not sure who did that, but it's fantastic. Number 14. I wish a lot of these artists had signed what they did. And what's bad is I actually recognize that line work, but I may be getting confused with the inker. And John Buscema went out of his way on this one. John Buscema and Tom Palmer. I'm going to give more credit probably to Tom Palmer. But look at that Avengers. Now, this is right smack in the middle of the Masters of Evil invading the mansion and raising hell on the Avengers. But I think this is just outstanding, I got doubles of some of these. This is one of those covers that I will just pick up when I see it. Of course, we have Al Milgrom doing the Hulk. This is right when they're getting ready to do the chemical bath to try to separate the Hulk from Bruce Banner. Ended up bringing back the Gray Hulk. Turned Rick Jones into the Green Hulk for a while, and General Thunderbolt Ross ended up turning into Zax, an old Hulk villain who's more or less made of electricity. This is not Frank. This is in the middle of a Frank Miller writing, coming back to Daredevil. I'm pretty sure 236, or towards the end of it. But that is neither a Frank Miller nor a David Mazzucchelli cover. That is a Walt Simonson cover. I just found that out recently thanks to having Walt Simonson on Facebook. One of the fans posted it, so that blew me away. I mean, look at that. I mean, I thought I had a Frank Miller cover there. Cloak and Dagger. Terry Austin, I believe, actually penciled and inked this. And this was when Terry Austin was winning awards left and right for inking. And he came on board and took over Cloak and Dagger somewhere along the line, writing them for a while. X-Men, John Romita Jr., number 211. This is right in the middle of the Mutant Massacre, the first real crossover story with all the X-Men books. Another Barry Windsor Smith cover. He was Art Adams and Barry Windsor Smith were pretty much doing covers back and forth on New Mutants, and I'm wanting to say Barry Windsor Smith actually did some art, but I'm not sure. But I kind of love this. He gives it I don't know if that's magic or magma, but with the ethereal fairy kind of look with the braids and the little pieces in her hair and stuff. It's definitely coming out Flower Child. So I would probably go with magic, even though the hair's bobbed instead of being long. I don't know. Just fantastic. Walt Simpson right here in the middle of the Mutant Massacre once again. A little sad Cyclops. Oh, poor guy. Walt Simonson hitting it big time. This is also part of the Mutant Massacre, so you can kind of see how I got these. These were books and stories I was already collecting. Just a fantastic Thor cover. I mean, look at that. I mean, some of these are just outstanding. And then you have the Conan books, Conan the King, number 37. It's all right. But this one I was really disappointed in. It's a John Buscema, and it actually, I don't know. This actually looks like they just kind of, cut the head out of a page in the book and posted it right on the front cover. I don't know. G.I. Joe with Snake Eyes, the Transformers. Look at that. It's just awesome. It's fun. Of course, Hordak with the Masters of the Universe. I just recently got these two books on eBay, both for I think 99 cents. But even though I got it from the same seller, this one ended before the second one, and I got charged shipping for both of them instead of combining the shipping, and I just did not leave anything. And then Muppet Babies number 10. And I've been told that this is very rare. This is the rare one. Now, the thing books mint for $4, and I actually saw it going on eBay for $80 and $81. I looked up and found a guy who put 4 or 5 of them up and was just charging, I think, 99 cents for them. It's not mint, but it's definitely not, anything. It's probably a very, very fine book, you know. So yeah, Muppet Babies. So that's those. Now, that was the 25th anniversary of Marvel. And then in 2009, well, let's get to the 90s. For some reason in the 90s, around 1997, and the reason I can't tell you what they were doing is because that was also the year that I was finishing up my first 2-year degree and planning a wedding, and had a lot going on that year. But I was still collecting comics and stuff. DC came out, and all I know is that this was inspired by the anniversary issues that I showed you of Marvel, but I don't know if it was tongue in cheek. I don't know what kind of anniversary they could have had going on because it was 1997, nothing really lined up and stuff. But it inspired DC to come out with a portrait month. I don't know what they actually titled. I actually tried to look it up online and just could not nail it and stuff. But these are the ones I have. I probably have more, but I didn't want to dig. But like here's Jack Kirby's Fourth World with a Walt Simonson, cover of Dark Side. Here's JLA right in the middle of Grant Morrison's run, number 13. Probably a Howard Porter cover. And then Hitman, which I just love, and it's John McCrae. Then this is 97. What is this, number 21? So that kind of inspired that, and apparently I remember seeing the ads where it was just all the DC comics in their portraits. They were just line by line. Now, what I like about both of these sets, is that they do look nice side by side. My plan is to kind of put all these up on a wall. But I think they all look fantastic together. I would love to do that. I mean, that's something I would actually display. Now we go into the 2000s, and around 2009, Marvel had decided to do this event. And you probably haven't heard of it, and there's a reason that it flopped. But they decided to have the 70th anniversary. Now, I remember they did something for their 50th. I don't know what that is right now off the top of my head. But for their 70th anniversary in 2009, they combined their time as Timely Comics and Atlas Comics and Marvel Comics and came up with 70. And they came out with, throughout that year, they came out with different versions of variant covers. Retailers, to get these variant covers, there was probably 12 per set, probably like about 3 or 4 sets throughout the year, but there were 12 books per set. Now, that's how I remember it. But they flopped because retailers had to order at least 10 books just to get one. Now, this was not the 80s. The market had moved on. You had comic book shops grabbing these, being speculative, and as soon as these variant covers would come in, they would slap $5, $6, $7 on them. So I'm not saying that they're rare. It's just that it depends on your comic book shop and how many comic books per month, per series that they collected, they ordered to get that one, and then they stamped the extra money on it and stuff. I looked up and got all these for a quarter, but this thing flopped. Nobody really knew what was going on, and nobody was really interested. And what they did is, they brought in artists to do this, but they redrew the border. I think this was Jimmy Chang, Chueng. I kind of know the name, but I'm not sure him. But he redrew the border, kind of an updated version, and they did full-scale pictures of our heroes. Here's Iron Man, the Incredible Hercules. They put Sif on Thor, Kitty Pryde with Wolverine and Lockheed, Wolverine First Class, Luke Cage on New Avengers, the Wasp, the Hank Pym Wasp, which will go down in history as one of the stupidest things they ever did. The Wasp had died, I think, at the end of Civil War, and since Hank Pym was in mourning, he turned himself into the Wasp as a tribute. Yeah. Magic on the New Mutants. Secret Warriors, your Nick Fury. Tigra with your Avengers, the Initiative, I think. Yeah. We have our Thunderbolts with Black Widow. I got a couple of those. Yeah, a couple of those. And I honestly, even though it's amazing, even though the art is very well done, don't get me wrong, it just doesn't have the same feel. They don't feel like they should go together on a wall if I displayed them too much white, man. I like the use of color, the use of the space better. It was designed with a logo in mind. They just look really cool beside each other, and these didn't pop, and other people really didn't find them appealing at all either that did see them. Another thing they did was they came out with another variant edition. The Women of Marvel, and I just have a few of these, but you know that was part of it. They were celebrating women, and these actually say Women of Marvel. And this border was done by Stuart Imonen, I believe, and it's all the women. And if you know your comic books, you should be able to name all those women. But this is X-Men Legacy number 239, and it's Rogue by Terry Moore, which is very cool. And I'm pretty sure it's the Terry Moore that does Strangers in Paradise. I get my Moores mixed up or something. There's Terry Moore who does Strangers in Paradise, Rachel Rising, I'm pretty sure. And then I get the Moore confused who helped create Walking Dead. You know, I'm sorry. You know, it's late. Okay. So there's Rogue. There's Secret Avengers. This is a Chris Bacalo cover, and I absolutely love this one. This is Secret Avengers number 4, the variant. Holy cow, man. I mean, it's got like this whole Final Fantasy feel, man. Valkyrie there with the huge, huge sword. You know, just fantastic. I think that is the one of the bunch, and he actually put some stuff in the background, old Viking helmets full of Viking skulls. I don't know if it's going to come through. Much better than just leaving it blank, you know. And another Black Widow. And this definitely was, I don't know, man. She definitely has a Scarlett Johansson appeal to her, so you know, who knows. And then they also came out with another set, and these were just white covers. And I remember the artist that did this because he actually made news. He was on oh my gosh, when was this? His name was Marco, okay? And I'm assuming he was Italian or something like that. And he was already getting work in video games and designing things like that. And Marvel brought him in. And they just pissed him all the way off, and he went off at a live panel. I mean, it made a bunch of noise because it was a very public I'm out of here and walking off quitting kind of thing. But I remember his biggest thing that he said that sticks out in my mind was whenever I do my other projects with video games and other books or something like that, he's paid for his creativity. You know, he's allowed to create. Marvel pigeonholed him and said they only want me to draw what they think will sell, and I don't know, they messed up his process, and pretty much it sounds like they didn't really treat him with a lot of respect. The way I'm telling the story, he's coming off like a diva, but he's actually was holding up to principles, artistry, and creativity, you know. I mean, he was paid to do a job, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I got all these for a quarter, but his name was Marco. God, it's killing me. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, here's some Miss Marvel number 45, and when they came out with these for the 70th anniversary, on the bottom they would say established 1977. So Miss Marvel came out in 1977. And again, beautiful artwork, but the white covers with the tiny, it just, I don't know, it just does not pop for me. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the design. The Mighty Thor, established 1962. You know, this is some great stuff. And this is from the Incredible Hercules, but they're putting Thor on there. Captain America, you know, established 1941, which doesn't sound right. I think he actually came out in 1940. I'm not going to say anything. I mean, it's not Marvel. But, you know, they had different sets of these, and the anniversary actually flopped. You know, I mean, it flopped. Nobody talks about them. They came out with a great series that I have over here that I need to go back and reread called The Marvel Projects. I picked these up. I got all the variant covers that were part of that anniversary. Here we go. Here's a few of them. And what they did is they went back into the 40s, and it's basically, in my way I remember it, it's just basically the tale of the Golden Age heroes, but with emphasis on, you know, the invaders, sort of. Captain America, Submariner. You know, these are all variant covers to the Marvel projects. So, you know, interesting covers. I'll just look these up online. You know, that one's fantastic. But yeah, this was part of the 70th anniversary. Looks like a little red skull there. Whoop. I don't know how that got in there. And there's the Angel. who gets played. Kurt Busiek put him in there, and with his blue costume and red cape, a lot of people thought they snuck in Superman. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, and they had some other stuff, like that. But yeah, that's there you go. There's your Marvel Anniversary 25th and 70th edition comics and stuff. Like I said, none of these are complete sets, and I'm looking to complete them here and there. But I'll probably just try to complete the 86 set. I'm down to, I don't know, 3 or 4 books. All right, guys, have fun.